everywhere you go. MTN.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show with me, Michael Avery, and we welcome back to Chris Kapanga, who is the founder of We Clean It All. Chris, not a stranger to the show, and great to have you in studio. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me back. I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent. And We Clean It All, the branding's on the jacket there, and I think as the name says, you're obviously in the cleaning business. Just share exactly with us what it is you do.
Yes, as you said, the name We Clean It All says it all. Yeah, so We Clean It All provides cleaning services to domestic, commercial, and industrial sectors. During the COVID pandemic, we were able to pivot our business to provide COVID essential services. So services such as cleaning of your offices, deep cleaning of your offices, thermal fogging of offices.
Oh, right.
We also jumped into selling hand sanitizers, PPE, such as your gloves, your masks, and your work suits. And we also jumped into hygiene services as well, where we are now selling hygiene dispensers, automated hygiene dispensers, and manual dispensers.
So COVID has actually presented your business, which was already in the hygiene and cleaning space, with some wonderful opportunities, as you say, to pivot. Just tell me a little bit more about how you've pivoted into those opportunities. Did you have to restock, and what sort of demand have you seen from various customers with COVID-19? Clearly, the need to clean your offices, to defog, is in high demand, shall we say?
That's true. You see, prior to COVID-19, our services were mainly in your domestic cleaning, areas. So we mainly focus our business in cleaning people's homes. So when we heard of the news of the pandemic, most people shut us out, and they didn't want us to go into their homes to clean. So this is where we saw an opportunity now where we could now sell hand sanitizers, because people are now looking for hand sanitizers, and most shops did not have hand sanitizers. So we went straight to the suppliers and asked them if they could supply us hand sanitizers as dispensers. And we were also able to jump onto fogging equipment, which many suppliers didn't have. So I think that's where we now turned, where we spoke to our suppliers to start supplying us with these cleaning equipment and hygiene equipment as well.
And what sort of growth were you seeing in the retail market before COVID-19? What sort of growth are you now seeing as we exit the hard lockdown into level 3?
It was a bit quiet, but since we pivoted into now selling all this equipment, we've actually seen growth, because cleaning is an essential services, and most offices need their offices to be fogged and sanitized, especially if some cases have been reported. So we're in and out. And schools being an essential service for our kids, and people have been scared. So we are actually the people going in and out, fogging in all the schools and making sure that they're disinfected and clean. We've also seen people starting cleaning businesses. So since we're already in it, we are the go-to people, where people can now seek advice on what equipment they can purchase to start the cleaning businesses. They're seeking for advice on how to disinfect offices. And so we happen to be the people in the forefront of that.
With that comes an increasing demand on your business as a small business in terms of inventory and having capacity to meet that demand. Are you finding that a particular challenge, for example, having enough staff and defoggers to service this demand?
Yes, thank goodness we are. I have a tremendous good team at the office, so we've actually employed a few people to assist us with the fogging and cleaning of schools. But fogging does not require us to have many people as well. So it's usually 2 people that are going to the offices, unless the customer would request for us to do a deep cleaning. So that's where we'll have to hire or work with other companies that we can actually do the work for them.
And in terms of ensuring that you yourselves are protected going into an environment that has had an outbreak of COVID-19, how do you ensure that you keep yourself protected and your staff?
Well, we have been able to find a few courses online, and most of our suppliers, since they supply the cleaning equipment and chemicals, have actually brought us in as well to train us how to use this cleaning equipment and chemicals. So we are able to go in, so we are well protected in terms of us fully being PPE'd. and the training from the suppliers has allowed us to be confident to go into people's offices and homes as well.
It's an important relationship that you have there with your suppliers and, as you mentioned earlier, with your customers in the marketplace as well. Have you tried to access any of the government support schemes during this period? We've had various schemes like UIF TERS, for example, or have you just decided to go it alone and bootstrap?
Well, we have a very good accountant as well, so he was also advising us how we could claim from UIF. So government has assisted us, has actually played a big role in assisting us to pay for staff that, for example, that were not able to go back to work. So government has assisted us. We were able to get some funds from UIF. So thank goodness our team was able to get on the ball and get that ball rolling as well.
Through your experiences, Chris, what would your advice be to other entrepreneurs out there who might be battling through COVID-19 and perhaps not working in a sector that is so perfectly suited to the environment we're living in?
True. I would say, guys, first of all, we need to always feed ourselves with positive news. And I know there's a lot of negative news going about what the COVID has done to our economy. But we also need to all constantly look for good news, feed our minds with good news. Watch shows that are going to feed your mind with good news. And one of our mentors, Alon Reyes, which we watch quite a lot, he said, a positive mind, we need to be optimistic. And a positive mind will always find solutions to things. So I'm feeding my mind with a lot of positive information, and that is how we're able to find opportunities through this pandemic.
So important to have the right mindset, and keep watching shows like the Big Small Business Show, where we like sharing great positive stories like yours.
Thank you so much.
Chris Kapanga, founder of Weekly in It All, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's a wrap for the Big Small Business Show this week. Remember to ignore the hype of the startups that you see in the press. Mostly, it's a pack of lies. Half of these startups will be dead in a year. So focus on building your business so you can be the one left standing. And take heed from Chris. Keep a positive mindset. From me, Michael, keep fighting the good fight.
This show was proudly brought to you by MTN Business. Visit mtnbusiness.co.za for great deals and services. We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
And by Chartered Accountants of South Africa. Lead your industry with a responsible partner. Partner with the CASA today.